All right, Kev, thank you very much. And we welcome you to ESPN Baseball, presented by Liberty Mutual Insurance. And here tonight from Wrigley Field, the Cubs hoping to fly the W as they take on the Tigers. It is Game 3, the series finale. Always a lot of energy as the establishment's packed near the ballpark. Over the weekend, they honored the 2016 champions with the Champions Gate. Dansby Swanson and company looking to pick up another win. It's a team that has been led by their position-playing group. Outstanding both offensively and defensively. Let's check out the standings in the National League. The Cubs with the top spot and leading the Phillies, and then it's the Pirates, Diamondbacks, and Cardinals fighting things out for that final playoff spot in the National League. But right now, the Cubs holding the top wild card position, still with designs of tracking down the Brewers. As we welcome you into the broadcast booth, John Shambi, Adam Ottavino, and Eduardo Perez. Coming up, we will chat with Buster Olney. We start on the Cubs side, though. Eduardo, we get a treat tonight. A couple of really good young players involved in this game. We'll get to Kevin McGonigal, but first, Pete Crow Armstrong. What a season this guy's put together. And it's the advanced plate discipline that he's had this year that was not expected out of him. They always wanted him to have it. Man, it's shown up in a major way. 81st percentile when it comes to being able to get on base this year at a 384 clip. But most importantly, what he's been able to do is be patient at the plate, and then he creates havoc because of his speed. And oh, by the way, the one thing that we always knew is how great of a defender PCA has been. Bringing it and getting it done. 18 outs above average is what he has done. But offensively, man, the year that he has had in the first 400 games with the Cubs, comparable to Sammy Sosa. The numbers don't lie. That's who PCA has been, and that's why he's at the top of the order, and most likely at the top of the hearts of a lot of Cubs fans. Yeah, no question. There's an energy in this ballpark, says A.J. Hinch, when Pete Crow Armstrong comes to the plate. Speaking of the Tigers, we send it downstairs, and Buster Olney, when you look at this Detroit team, there are a lot of expectations, and now we get close to the trade deadline, and they are right there in the focus, especially because of Tarek Skubal. That's exactly right, Boog. As A.J. Hinch said earlier this week, every game for the Tigers right now is a Game 7. They're in a race against time. 12 more days until the trade deadline when they have to make that decision. Do they trade Tarek Skubal or do they keep him? And look, since June 1, the Tigers are 25-16. That is a 98-win pace for about a quarter of the season. What A.J. Hinch has been telling his team is just 2 or 3, just 2 or 3, just take a series. And tonight, they could take another one, Boog. All right, Buster. Yeah, the Tigers just looking to pick up 2 out of every 3, 2 out of every 3. Meanwhile, Adam Ottavino tonight, their shortstop, Kevin McGonigal. He's played all over the place, but he's been one of the best young players. He's really been one of the best players in the American League this year. Yeah, when we were talking to AJ in his meeting, he mentioned that it won't be long before this is Kevin McGonigal's team. You know, that's a big statement for a rookie, but I think at this point in the season, this guy's not a rookie anymore. He's just flat out the best player on the Tigers. He's handled second base, third base, shortstop, leadoff position, all different types of scenarios. He's excelled. And this season, he is only one of 6 players with more walks than strikeouts in MLB, and he's only 21 years old. The next youngest player on the list, Geraldo Perdomo at 26. Yeah, it's amazing. Doesn't turn 22 until the middle of next month, Kevin McGonigal. So the Tigers and the Cubs coming up tonight as the fans file into Wrigley Field to see some of the best young stars in the game. We'll have lineups and first pitch from the friendly confines. It's coming up.
Baseball on the way from Wrigley Field alongside David Ross, Hall of Famer Tim Kirkjian, Kevin Connors here. Busy night in Major League Baseball. Let's get you caught up on everything, including the biggest story in the bigs. 15 straight wins for the Red Sox, Tim, but this is Dylan Beavers.
Right. It's just so rare anymore to see the Red Sox behind. Their young pitching has been so good. They seem to be ahead all the time, but not early in this game.
Jonathan Rodriguez off the monster. The Red Sox down 4-0 in the third. A win tonight would set the franchise all-time consecutive wins mark. Dodgers and Phillies. Rossi, this is Dalton rushing in the third.
Yeah, this young man, gone through a little bit of adversity early on in his career, but one thing he continues to do is hit, lead behind the plate, learn a lot of hard examples, but he's a good young player, one of many in our game.
And then in the fifth inning, down the right field line, the RBI double. Dodgers grab a 3-2 lead, but moments ago, bottom five, this is Brian De La Cruz. His first hit in a Philly uniform, and welcome to Philadelphia. Solo home run, 3-3 game, bottom of the fifth inning. Twins in Cleveland taking on the Guardians. Speaking of good young players, this is Brooks Lee.
Right, the Twins have lost 4 games in a row as they try to hang in the pennant race, because if they don't, they have Joe Ryan, they have Byron Buxton to move. Very interesting where they are right now.
Boog, 8 games going on across the bigs. We'll keep you updated throughout the course of the night.
All right, guys, thanks so much. And we welcome you to Wrigley Field here tonight. It is the Cubs and the Tigers. They have split the first 2 games of this series. Let's take a look at tonight's starting lineup for the Tigers, brought to you by Nutrish. And for Detroit and A.J. Hinch, they're 10th in the AL, 21st in the majors in runs per game. And here's what it looks like. McGonigal up top, then Dingler. Keith will hit third at third. Green, Torkelson, Carpenter, McKinstry, Lee, and Outman. And that group will go up against the right-handed starter for the Chicago Cubs, Colin Ray. So Ray on the mound. What do we look for with him?
Colin Ray, he's going to attack the strike zone. He keeps it simple. He's a little bit of a kitchen sink type of pitcher, has a whole bunch of different pitches, but really knows how to get it done. Doesn't matter if he's starting or relieving. He's an incredibly valuable piece for this Cubs team, and he's going to go right at these guys tonight.
Eduardo, when you think of the Cubs and you talk about their pitching, I think it might surprise some people that since the start of last year, it's this guy that leads the team in innings. It's not Matthew Boyd. And you look at the job that he's done, he's been invaluable.
And you can pitch the contact with the defense that they have out there. Exceptional defense last year. They won the Gold Glove as a team, and they're well on their way of doing the same thing this year.
So they play the modified shift, the Cubs do. Colin Ray ready to work, and away we go at Wrigley. And this one is hit in the air, center field. Pete Crow Armstrong is there to make the catch. One pitch and one out. And from a Cubs perspective, that is who you want the ball hit to.
It's amazing. And this is the thing, if you miss down low with PCA's ability, 18 outs above average, the combination of the 2 guys up the middle in the infield, Dansby Swanson, it's a combination of 18 outs above average as well. They're that good up the middle.
72 degrees at first pitch. Yeah, Gold Glovers everywhere. Swanson and Horner have each won a couple. And the pitch in for a strike to Dylan Dingler.
And Boog, these might be the conditions that, if you're the Cubs, favorable to them with the wind blowing in from center field.
That was something Craig Counsell talked about. He thinks it's an advantage for the Cubs. Pitch inside. And that one almost hit him. And Craig Counsell said, we want the wind. He said, I love it when the wind is howling and blowing in. He thinks it's an advantage for his team. The 1-1. Craig Counsell in his 3rd year as Cubs manager. Of course, 9 seasons in Milwaukee with the Brewers. 5 times he went to the playoffs with the Brewers. Took the Cubs to the postseason last year. And that's in for a strike, says Derek Thomas.
This is where Dingler becomes really a threat, even with 2 strikes. 11 home runs already on the count with 2 strikes.
2-2. And that one is foul tipped into the mitt of Kelly. Struck him out. And a good start, getting 2 good hitters for Colin Ray.
Really good right on right changeup here from Colin Ray. Dingler thinks he's swinging at a fastball. He's way out in front of that pitch, and it drops below the barrel.
So 2 up and 2 down, and now it'll be Colt Keith. No score, just getting started. And a fastball clips the outside corner at 94 miles an hour. Keith getting to start at third base. Since June 1st, Tigers have played much better, and it's really across the board, right? They've prevented runs, the defense has gotten better, and collectively the offense has gotten going.
Well, they feel like they're getting their team back. I mean, at one point this year, AJ mentioned they had 15 of their normal 26 players on the IL. So now that those guys have trickled back into the regular rotation, they've played a lot more consistent brand of baseball.
Ray ahead 0-2. Keith back in. Riley Green waiting to hit the on deck circle. For Colin Ray, 36 years old. Ray, right-hander from Cascade, Iowa. Originally a 12th round pick out of Indiana State by the Padres in 2011.
Ball.
That one just missed.
You know, when I was a kid, my dad would always tell me, you know, if you don't work hard, there's a kid in Iowa. He's in his barn right now, and he's throwing against the wall, and he's working. Are you working? And maybe this was that guy, Colin Ray.
The 2-2. On the ground right at Swanson. Takes in the second hop and throws him out. 1-2-3 inning for Colin Ray. Pete Crow Armstrong will lead it off when we come back.
For the people.
Back here at Wrigley as we go to the bottom of the first. Tigers and Cubs no score. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for the Cubs, brought to you by Nutrish. Pete Crow Armstrong, Seiya Suzuki, and Michael Busch. That's the top three. Then Bregman, Happ, and Horner. Conforto to start at DH, Kelly to catcher, and Swanson rounds out the lineup. It's a Cub team that had a difficult May, but overall they can really score. They'll go up against Cater Montero.
Yeah, Cater Montero, not all that different from Colin Ray. He's sort of the Swiss Army knife of the Tigers. Can start, can relieve. AJ's even used him in some closing role. What really stands out when you look at Cater Montero is his mentality and his aggression. He goes right at everyone. He doesn't care who's in the box. He likes to pair both his four-seam fastball and his sinker within the same at-bat. And overall, it's going to be an interesting matchup going up here right off the gate versus PCA.
Montero deals. The first pitch in for a strike. Yeah, this guy is a strike thrower. The Cubs, an offense that thrives first and foremost by avoiding making outs. They have the #1 walk rate in baseball. As that one misses, they're third in the majors in on-base percentage, fourth in runs per game. So we'll see. This guy is a strike thrower. Montero's last start June 26th as he misses outside.
There's a big trust factor with AJ and Kiter. He talked about watching the WBC and him performing for Team Mexico and just having the feeling like this is the guy. He can handle the pressure, give him the ball, and let him work with it.
Montero, and a swing and a miss. And that was the changeup.
Advantage now PCA. He's already seen the fastball. He's seen the curveball from Montero that was way outside, and now the changeup. Put that in your hard drive. You see the shape of each pitch.
Crow Armstrong leading the majors in wins above replacement, whether you go baseball reference or Fangraphs. Next pitch in there, got him looking. Montero freezes Pete Crow Armstrong, and there's one away.
Yep, pretty clear case of PCA looking for something else. Ends up taking the fastball right down the middle here in an effort to be a little bit more disciplined at the plate. He's developed a little bit more of an approach, being more selective, looking for one thing or another, doing his studying. But right there, a little backfire. Good job by Montero.
And now it's Seiya Suzuki who takes ball one. One guy to watch here tonight is the guy behind the plate in Dylan Dingler. He is the second best framer in all of baseball. That one popped up, and it'll twist out of play.
And one of the things that Dylan does do, he catches and is actually pretty close to the hitter, but he doesn't extend unless he needs to be able to steal that strike. Lets the ball travel behind the plate.
Ball to strike out Suzuki. Montero missing with a heater at 95. We mentioned with Cater Montero a lot of strikes. His walk rate is 5.5%. What is inside? Just to give you an idea, the big league average is 9%. Three and one. Right-hander ready. Listening in. Suzuki waits. And that's a strike.
And I'm sorry, if you're a kid at home, of course you want to get swing and miss. But if you're not going to get a lot of swing and miss, like Cater Montero, it's not really a style. You cannot exacerbate that issue with also issuing free passes.
3-2, hammered left field. That's back on its way, and it's gone. Seiya Suzuki blasts one into the bleachers in left field, and the Cubs jump in front 1-0. Suzuki with home run number 17 and a no-doubter.
He's been the hottest player on the team for the Cubs. 11-game on-base streak, and right there, did not miss again. A disciplined eye worked the game in his favor. And you talked about it. If you're behind in the count, working your way back, you know he's going to be attacking the zone. He beats to that two-seamer in and just barrels it. No wind is holding that one.
First offering to Michael Busch, misses the mark. So the Cubs take the lead early. Suzuki in year 5 here in the majors, and he has settled in as a real offensive threat for this team as Busch takes outside the zone. One out, bases empty, 1-0 Cubs. Line drive, and that's a base hit out into center field. With one out, a single from Busch, and it'll bring up Alex Bregman. Seiya Suzuki hitting in that 2 spot for the Cubs. Craig Counsell effectively putting his 2 best hitters, 1-2 in the lineup. First one to Bregman is in there for a strike.
Yeah, the slider so far has been working for Montero. The curveball has not been able to land it for strikes early and when he's behind the counts.
Check swing, and that's in there. And a called strike makes it 0-2. Bregman in year 1 of a 5-year, $175 million deal. He signed with the Cubs, $70 million of it deferred. Been an all-star 3 times, including last year. Beginning to his Cubs tenure, has been sluggish at times. Tapped foul, first base side. He is still a guy that has the respect in the clubhouse in terms of how much of a baseball rat he is, and just continues to grind and work and work. And then there's also the back of the baseball card. He's put together some really good seasons.
He really has, and the leadership skill is off the chain completely. Defensively, as solid as can be. Great compliment to this lineup.
2 misses. We talked about the consistency. How about 10 straight years of a 750 or better OPS? That is a great list. Holy cow. That one pulled foul and into that second deck.
I got to see Bregman firsthand last year in spring training with the Red Sox, and I thought I liked baseball until I was around Alex Bregman. I mean, this guy was working the room left and right, young guys, old guys, quizzing guys, holding guys accountable. I was very impressed with him.
And the most impressive part about him is he's not intimidated by different cultures. He goes in there. I remember when he was with the Astros, he would sit around Correa, Altuve, and just try to learn the language. Marwin Gonzalez, when he was coming up during those winning years.
2-2. And Bregman has worked the count full 3-2. Yeah, he comes with a pedigree of a guy who will work his tail off. And one of the skill sets, he knows the strike zone. Swing decisions are usually very good. Lifted in the air, left side, McGonigal. The rookie goes out and makes the catch, and there's 2 away.
Well, last time against Seiya Suzuki, he tried a two-seamer in. That didn't work. He's like, let me spin it again right here, because it's a pitch that he's been able to control, and he gets Bregman off balance.
You got to think there's a little bit of a feeling out process. First start in a little while. Starting's just different than relieving. You know, you come in, oftentimes you try to ease into the game and figure out what you have. So he's going through that process right now.
2 down, man at first. The Cubs have taken the lead on a solo homer from Seiya Suzuki. In Happ here. Happ overall at .218 with 18 homers. Happ, the longest tenured Cub. He is the longest tenured Chicago athlete, any sport. And a guy, a former first-round pick in 2015, who will be a free agent at the end of the year. He's hit as many as 20 homers 5 times. And he's out front on that changeup.
And a fan favorite out there in left field as well. Last game of the season at home, he buys everyone in the bleacher beers. That's awesome.
Yeah, he tapes money to a baseball and throws it into the bleachers. Swing and a miss. Montero able to get Happ. And that'll do it for the Cubs. Bush left stranded, but Seiya Suzuki puts a charge into 1, deposits that into those left field bleachers, and the Cubs at the end of 1 lead it 1-0.
Thursday at 9 on ESPN.
Back in Wrigley, John Sciambi, Adam Ottavino, and Eduardo Perez. Buster Olney downstairs. Riley Green stands in. 1-0 Cubs. And the Tigers all-star takes a 4-seamer for ball 1. Green, an all-star for the 3rd time this year. He's put up very good numbers this season. And go back the last 40 games at OPS, just a smidge under 900 with 11 homers.
And one of the steepest swings in the game as well. Really handles the pitch middle in with the best of them.
Check swing roller. That's to first. Bush underhands to Ray, and there is out number 1.
Food in the oven but don't want to miss a pitch? Just tell Siri, set a timer for 10 minutes.
One down, base is empty, and it's Spencer Torkelson. And Torkelson, the Tigers slugging first baseman. He's hit as many as 31 homers 2 different seasons, including last year. It's kind of feast or famine, though. They need him to try and find a way to contribute in some other way, maybe avoid making some outs, etc. He's hitting just .205, but 18 homers solid. But it's really hitting homers is how he helps.
Yeah, it really does. And this is a great example right now. Ray, who speeds up his bat with a sinker hard in. You want to get in there on him, and then they usually spin it right after. That's the pitch that's been his kryptonite all season long.
The 0-2. That one spins down and away.
Boog, at some point I got to give you a Colin Ray farm report.
Oh, please.
You can call on that anytime you want.
Yeah, absolutely. I will. I'll tell you what. After this batter, we'll go downstairs to Buster for the farm report. Buster is our farming expert. High fly ball drilled out towards left center field. That's back, and that one is gone. Torkelson will touch them all. A solo homer, his 19th, and we are starting over. It is 1-1. There's that power from Torkelson.
How about Torque? Gets a slider, stays off of it, 0-2. And then this one stays out over the plate. And he's able to just barrel it. And you talked about the all or nothing right there. This one is all. Leave the nothing behind, take 3 left turns, and tie this ball game up.
Yeah, the first one to Kerry Carpenter is in for a strike. So 1-1. It's a Tigers team that's 6th in the AL, 13th out of 30 teams in homers hit this year in baseball. You look at this offense, it's a solid kind of middle of the pack-ish offense. They're 21st in runs per game out of 30 teams, 18th in weighted runs created plus. Right now they're waiting for the return of Javi Baez, who's out on a rehab assignment, coming back from that ankle injury. This guy could swing it, and he's been in a funk. He's old for his last 27.
And if you turn him around to the right side, it's pretty much a mirror image of Aaron Judge's approach at the plate.
And they work with the same guy.
Work with the same guy. But when he is on, he can carry a team offensively.
1 out, bases clear, 2-2. Popped up. Foul ground, third base side. And that will get out of play.
Tell you what, he got away with a pitch right there. Typically, if Carpenter's right, he's going to drive that spinner middle in. But you can tell he's fighting his mechanics a little bit up there at the plate.
And the high chase rate also has been his issue, 35.8%. And that's what now pitchers are trying to exploit, is try to get him to expand outside of the zone.
2-2. Tigers team that has won 12 of 17. Actually, they made the postseason each of the last 2 years. And with the trade deadline fast approaching, the question becomes, what will they do with Tarek Skubal? 2-2. Line drive and a base hit out into right field. So Kerry Carpenter is aboard, and with 1 out, going to bring up Zach McKinstry. So the streak for Kerry Carpenter is over at 0 for 27.
I would have introduced myself to the bag at first base right there. Just take the bag, put another one in there. That's awesome. Get the weight off your shoulders with that one.
There's a line drive into left field. Happ coming on, slides, and he makes the catch. He steals a hit from Zach McKinstry, and then attempts to double off Carpenter at first. Happ, outstanding left fielder. He's won 4 Gold Gloves. The last 4 in left field.
I mean, the mantle most likely will get another one. This is elite defense from the Chicago Cubs, and it works perfectly for Colin Ray on the mound. Let them hit it and give them a chance, either on the ground or in the air.
Our colleague Doug Glanville talks about Ian Happ knows his yard as well as any defender at any home ballpark anywhere. That Happ has just gone to school on learning left field at Wrigley Field.
And it's not an easy one. I mean, you got the fence that juts out there. You have an ivy-covered brick wall. You have a really tight window between the line and the retaining wall there in left field, the old Steve Barton spot. So there's a lot of elements to bring into the mix there for Ian Happ, and he has mastered it.
You had to go there, didn't you?
The Cubs outstanding defensively. All letters and emails to Adam Ottavino.
Sorry. It's been a while. They did win after that.
The 1-2 up and in. When I go to Boston and I do the Vince Scully little roller up along first, they don't like that very much.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's a sensitive subject.
Now you lead with 2 outs and a man at first. Tigers have tied it up on a home run by Spencer Torkelson. Chopped to the right side. Horner collects the big hop. And Lee retired. For the big first baseman for the Tigers, puts a charge into 1, launches to left. And as we go to the bottom of the second, it's 1-1.
Breakfast meal deal from McDonald's.
ESPN Baseball is presented by Liberty Mutual. Bundle and save on your car and home insurance. Suzuki for the Cubs, Torkelson for the Tigers. It's 1-1 as we move to the bottom of the second. Cater Montero back to work and delivers outside to Nico Horner. It'll be Horner, Conforto, and Kelly against the right-hander Montero. A swing and a miss. The Tigers signed Cater Montero back in August of 2016 out of Venezuela. He's 26 years old now. Right-hander ready. And a swing and a miss. I want you guys to get this. He is listed in the media guide as 6'1", 145. And what I need to say is that's the guy I want writing my media guide bio.
Same guy that wrote mine. Love him.
I'm guessing that weight is probably from when he signed the 145, probably closer to the neighborhood of about 200. But anyway, whoever's handling that, the next time I have a height and weight situation down in a media guide, you'll be hearing from my people. It's pulled foul down the left side.
My last year I was at 215 in the media guide.
Yeah.
And in reality, take out the 1, move the 5 over, and put a 0 in there, and it's 250.
Wow. 2-2 on Nico Horner. Nobody on, nobody out. Shot towards third. And Keith Hayes. And Horner is out. 1 up, 1 down. And fans, if you love baseball with a twist, tune in tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern with the Party Animals Battle the Clowns in Banana Ball. Live on ESPN and Disney Plus and streaming on the ESPN app. Down in the batter will be Michael Conforto. Tied at 1. Conforto takes a strike. He came off the bench last night and homered. It's his 4th pinch hit homer of the season. That leads the majors. He's got 9 overall. He's turned out to be a valuable piece for the Cubs.
Really interesting with Cater Montero's. We looked at what Michael Conforto did in his 4th pinch hit of the season. That's hard to do. By the way, come on off the bench. That was what I did for a living. And to do it, and we're not even in August yet, really impressive. Craig Counsell has, I believe, one of the best benches in the game, the way that he can utilize it, understands what their strengths are, what their strength is, and use it to their advantage. Really good balance.
Conforto back in, awaiting a 1-2. Foul ball.
Eduardo, you were talking about the depth that the Cubs have. The thought around baseball, talking with other teams, is if the Cubs add pitching, and that's what their focus is before the trade deadline, it might be the depth in the position players that they work from to deal for pitching.
Swing and a miss. Conforto is gone. And there's 2 away. Let's send it back to the studio. Kevin Connors with an update. Dodgers, Phillies.
Indeed, Boog, rubber game at the bank. This is Max Muncy, Tim, unbreaking the tie.
Right. Home run number 229. He passes Ron Cey into 5th most ever on the Dodgers home run list.
Boog, Dodgers and Brewers tied for the best record in baseball right now.
Pretty incredible story when you think about all the things the Dodgers have done. They've done some really smart things. One of those is signing a guy who was sitting at home as a free agent, having been released by the Oakland A's at the time. Max Muncy, he was sitting on his couch in 2017. They signed him. He spent the entire rest of the year in the minor leagues at AAA. Came up in April of 18. He's been one of the better hitters, probably a top 25-ish hitter in baseball since then.
Oh my goodness, get Max Muncy away from me. He was horrible to face.
Little roller towards third. Keith up with it. And they get Carson Kelly. And we'll circle back on the Max Muncy night, Bear. Don't worry about it.
Maybe he doesn't want to.
Okay. Or not. Kevin McGonigal. Back here at Wrigley, tied at 1 as we go to the 3rd. Now the friendly confines, second oldest ballpark in the majors. Only Fenway is older. James Outman at the plate. It'll be Outman, then McGonigal, then Dingler as Outman fouls one back.
By the way, strong game right there for James Outman and his Sox.
Sock game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's show the Cavs. And oh, by the way, there's some designers around it.
See the numbers on Outman. They got him from the Twins, claimed him off of waivers in June. Line drive, and that is a base hit out into center field. So a man aboard in front of Kevin McGonigal as we get to know the rookie. A former first-round pick. He went 37th overall, grew up just outside of Philadelphia. 100 hits at first 100 games. Detroit players 21 or younger. Ty Cobb, Kevin McGonigal. That is your list. And then how about WAR among position players? Bobby Witt is 1. He is number 2. Witt just went on the IL with a back issue. This guy has been super impressive. Anytime you see a 21-year-old commanding the strike zone, somebody with a higher walk rate than strikeout rate, again at 21, ridiculous.
And that's what surprised me.
On the ground at the middle, that's a base hit. Outman racing around second. Throw comes in and it's cut off. And they're at first and third.
And that's why it surprised me that leading off the game he swung at the first pitch, because he's so confident. The better he's, and the more pitches he sees, the better he is. And on this one, sees a breaking ball as a first pitch, tracks it well, and then they try to throw him a changeup, and he stays with it right back up the middle. Now runners on the corners with no outs.
Well, when I've studied McGonigal, there's really no glaring weakness. There's no tendency to go to over and over again. So he might swing early. He might wear you out. There's a lot of things to consider, but really no clues left along the way by McGonigal.
And guys, the stories already about McGonigal and his confidence and his brashness, it reminds me so much of the stories of Dustin Pedroia when he was a young player. He had a game early this year where he had 2 hits. And someone asked him, are you going to go for a 3rd hit? And Boog, his response to that was, where do you want it? And like I must have heard 10 stories like that today about McGonigal. People just love how he approaches the game, his confidence, his leadership.
Yeah, very Dustin Pedroia indeed. The 1-1 is inside that almost hit Dingler.
Well, while on the topic of McGonigal, I'm just impressed with Detroit Tigers scouts and their scouting department. I mean, to take a 5'9" middle infielder out of Philadelphia high school and be that confident with the 37th overall pick, that wasn't easy. He doesn't necessarily fit the mold, if you will, of what you're looking for usually out of high school at that high of a draft pick. But not only did they hit on it, I mean, he's already their best player at the age of 21.
Dingler ready. There goes the runner from first. Throw down to second. Tag out at second. And McGonigal caught stealing for the first time this year. Carson Kelly gets him.
And we have to take a look at this again, because you have to look at where the throw is made by Kelly and where the tag is applied and received. It goes to the second base side, the first base side of the throw. And right there, watch where Nico Horner is to make the tag. A lot of infielders are now, and catchers are taught that's where you want to go as the infield now comes in.
Go in on the thumbs of Dingler, 3-2 with the infield squeezing in. As Carson Kelly, the former Tiger, is able to throw out McGonigal. Tigers don't run a lot. McGonigal's the one guy. They're last in the majors in stolen bases. And McGonigal had been 11 for 11. 3-2. Ray kicks, fires. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. He's got Dingler twice. And they're drinking up at the corner tap room in Cascade, Iowa. Every 2 drinks, or every 2 strikeouts for Colin Ray. And at that corner tap room in Cascade, Iowa, they serve up free drinks.
Well, drink up courtesy of Colin Ray, but
right.
that was a great great little sequence there. Worked him in, and then made him expand away.
This one popped foul off the bat of Colt Keith. Yeah, there's the corner tap room, Cascade, Iowa. They fill it up for Colin Ray's starts. He had a game where he threw, I want to say, 4 or 5 shutout innings with only 1 strikeout. He said his friends were sending him some hate texts like, look, man, I know you're pitching well, and we're happy about that, but we're going to need you to up the strikeouts. That was last year. The 0-2. Colt Keith grounded to short his first time up. Outman over there at third. We're tied at 1. It is a perfect night for baseball. 72 degrees at first pitch. A breeze. It's almost got a little bit more of a towards fall feel to it, doesn't it?
Yeah, I was surprised at 72 degrees. To me, it definitely feels more like low 60s right now with the breeze.
Yeah, welcome to the Windy City. It'll do it to you.
I learned that on the golf course yesterday a little bit as well, blowing my ball all over the place.
2-2 inside, and that one backs Keith away. 3 balls, 2 strikes with Albert at third and 2 outs.
Well, he stayed mainly away against Colt in this at bat. There, goes back in. Most likely he'll go away now.
Ray is ready. The righty fires. Check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. Third base umpire Nick Marley rings him up, and Ray pitches into and then out of the jam. We're midway in the third, and it is a 1-1 game.
And Disney Networks.
Back here in Wrigley Field with Cubs manager Craig Counsell. You were telling us before the game that you like it when it's windy here in Wrigley Field. How come?
Well, generally I'd prefer conditions like this when the wind's blowing in a little bit. It helps your pitching, but it's different. I mean, one day a fly ball, a pop-up can be a home run. The next day a ball hit as well as you possibly cannot be a home run, and it's an out. So it's a big difference. It also is difficult to catch balls in the air on windy days, as we saw yesterday.
Pete Crow Armstrong has more walks this year than the last 2 seasons combined. How would you describe his improvement with his plate discipline?
Yeah, it's been really remarkable. I've never seen anything like it, how fast it's improved. But it's made him one of the best hitters in the game.
Great, thanks. Back to you, Boog.
All right, Buster McGonigal, long throw, and he throws out Swanson. 1 up and 1 down as Dansby grounds to short. And back to the top of the order, and Pete Crow Armstrong. As Craig Counsell mentioned, the improvement with Pete Crow Armstrong, PCA as they call him around these parts, in terms of plate discipline, has turned him into one of the better hitters in the game. Pitch in there for a strike.
How about this? As we look at PCA's numbers and the way that he has been able to improve the walk rate because of the top 3, the chase rate, the swing rate, and also the first pitch. And an observation on Montero as well. He has thrown first pitch fastball to only PCA. Everybody else, it's been sliders or knuckle curves, but PCA has gotten 2 first pitch fastballs.
Chicago has 1 challenge.
Good challenge.
ABS challenge powered by T-Mobile. And the call confirmed, and it is a strike. So now 0-2. And Montero will get back at it. 1 away, bases empty. And a swing and a miss. Awkward swing. Dingler picks it up, throws him out. And Montero's settled into a really nice groove as he has set down 7 in a row.
Yeah, first at bat he strikes out Pete with a looking on a fastball. This at bat he jumps ahead early in the count. He's able to expand. Perfect execution on the back foot breaking ball there to get PCA to swing over the top.
A guy who doesn't normally get a ton of swings and misses. He's got 7 here tonight. Kader Montero. First one to Suzuki, misses. Suzuki a homer his first time up, number 17. On the ground is short. McGonigal gathers it in. There's 2 away. Make it 3 away. I know the outs. 3 outs on 7 pitches. 1, 2, 3 outs. We'll go to the 4th.
Savings.
Not at all.
It feels good to Geico.
Welcome back to ESPN Baseball, presented by Liberty Mutual Insurance. And here at Wrigley Field, a 1-1 game. And Colin Ray will get back to work facing Riley Green. Delivers ball 1. Green grounded out his first time. Fly ball left center field. Pete Crow Armstrong on the move, and that'll take a bounce off the brick wall. Fired into second. Tag save. Now, one of the things we talk about with PCA, the ability to get there in the speed, but he's got a very strong throwing arm.
Really does, and he knows how to play the Ivy well. Waits for it. Never know which way it's going to go, and he just throws a perfect throw over to Nico Horner, but a little too late as Riley Green slid under the tag.
Riley Green with that stroke out towards left center, and immediately for the Tigers, a man in scoring position. Here's Torkelson. The pitch down and away. Torkelson, a homer his first time up. He's got a first overall pick in the draft in 2020 out of Arizona State. third baseman there. Ball and a strike now. And for the Tigers, they're certainly happy to see him blast one out of here. His last 15 coming in, just 4 extra base hits. And a 140 average over that stretch. Go back to the second.
And it's that 42.4% hard hit rate that he does have despite the low batting average. That makes him such a threat at the plate.
Two balls, 2 strikes to count. With a man at second. Torkelson with Green out there in scoring position. That one off the inside edge. So now 3-2.
Yeah, they've worked him in 3 pitches in a row. Started him off with spin away, actually similar to what he homered on, interestingly, and now they've worked him in 3 pitches in a row, which I thought was a good choice, but that was a little bit non-competitive. So does he loop back around to the breaking ball away? I think yes.
Two foul back. For fans out there, just kind of explain non-competitive pitches.
A non-competitive pitch is a pitch that the batter right out of the hand knows he can take. He doesn't have to swing at it. He doesn't have to track it halfway and make a late decision. So that's just doing the batter a favor. The more times you can be competitive in and around the strike zone, the better as a pitcher.
Love favors.
Breaking ball misses inside, and he walks him.
That's a really good at-bat by Torkelson. 0-2 count. Colin Ray made some tough pitches, laid off a bunch of them, fouled off a few. And now the Tigers are cooking, first and second, nobody out.
And now it's Kerry Carpenter. Carpenter, who's the DH, singled his first time up to end an 0-for-27 stretch. We're tied at 1, but the Tigers threatening here in the top of the 4th. Fly ball left field. Happ under it to make the catch, and the runners retreat, and there's one down. All right, as promised, the farming report downstairs and Buster Olney.
Yeah, Boog, you mentioned before that Colin Ray, of course, grew up in Iowa. He's actually on an ag farm. He was telling me earlier today he grew up 16 miles from what is known as the Field of Dreams field. And if you're imagining cornfields and tractors and that sort of thing, you'd have it on. I asked him before the game how many tractors his family has. 8. 4 of them John Deere tractors. He said he and his family are talking about getting some beef cattle in the offseason. He's got 4 kids. Siblings have kids. They want the grandkids to have something to do, Boog.
Amazing. And as a group, they come and support Colin Ray. The Cubs, right before the break, played in Baltimore, and a whole group of them drove 14 hours from Cascade, Iowa to Baltimore because they hadn't seen a game at Camden Yards, and they wanted to check out Colin Ray pitching. So I want to say a group of probably a dozen or so. In the air left field, Swanson out, Happ in, Happ makes the catch. There's that wind.
It's not only the wind this time of night as well. It is really hard on a high sky type night to be able to pick up the baseball when it's way up there in the air. So you love the fact that Dansby Swanson, aggressive going after it, has to listen to Ian Happ, but also you're going to have to see the communication between outfielders and infielders as well, because we witnessed a lot of visiting teams lose balls.
Now Lee down, and the first offering to Lee misses. Craig Counsell, after year 1, said the biggest thing at Wrigley, or I should say managing the Cubs, was the Wrigley effect. You know, he said, it's funny, I played here, I managed here, but the volatility of the weather was something that he emphasized all year last year and again this year, and it is embrace Wrigley. That it's cold, that it's windy, that it's uncomfortable, that it changes all the time, that it's blowing out one day, in another day. And that is something culturally that he has tried to instill with the Cubs, the idea that this is our home park, and sometimes the other team's not going to enjoy it so much. 3-0 now. High fly ball. That one deep in the air out towards left center field. That one is back and it's gone. And Hal Lee, home run number 5, and it is a biggie, a 3-run homer, and the Tigers have the lead. The green lights on 3-0 and goes deep. 4-1 Tigers.
How about green lighting the 8-hole hitter right there with James Outman, the lefty, on deck, and this is the confidence builder for Lee. Fastball right down the middle. You got to take your ace swing, be selective, look for your pitch, and that's exactly what Lee did.
Well, hitters will lament all the time that there really is not fastball counts anymore. They just don't exist, but that was a perfect example of a real fastball count. 3-0, lefty on deck, got to hit the first at bat. If you're ever going to get one, that was the moment.
4-1 Tigers, and the 0-1 to Outman. I think it's a good point. I think the part that's interesting, though, is that I would still say that the hitters are right, because the number of 3-0 swings hasn't really increased, because there's the perpetual fear of getting the 3-0 curveball, the 3-0 sweeper, right?
Yeah, and you feel like you're one pitch away from walking, so you don't want to do the the pitcher a favor in that situation. But I mean, if you can get your A swing off, why not get it off?
Yeah. Especially how hard it is to hit these days as well.
1-2.
1-2. Ray Diaz. And that is in there. Got him looking. Ray able to get Outman, but Hal Lee breaks a 1-1 tie with 2 aboard on a 3-0 count. He launches. And the Tigers have a 4-1 advantage.
A profit boost. FanDuel, your home for home runs.
Back here in Wrigley Field with Tigers manager A.J. Hinch. Gave a green light, 3-0 count. Your number 8 hitter. What was your thought process?
Well, Lee can really hit. You know, I know he's hitting in the 8-hole for us. He's hit the ball hard. He gets the ball down. Doesn't miss it on 3-0. In this ballpark, a lot of things can happen when you get a good pitch to hit.
The last 2 weeks, feels like every day the conversation is the Tigers going to keep Tarek Skubal, are they going to trade him? How do you handle that as manager?
Really just play the games. You know, you try to get these guys focused on what we can control, which is on the field. Our focus needs to be where our feet are, which is in these series. We keep winning road series. We have a chance to do that tonight. Go home, play well at home, make things really interesting, because I feel like we have a good team, and just get the attention on the baseball.
AJ, thanks. Move back to you.
All right, Buster, thanks so much. Michael Busch takes the strike and the count 1-1. We had managers meetings before these games, and today we get a chance to check in with Craig Counsell and A.J. Hinch. And I don't know that there are too many guys that are better examples than these two of just the understanding of the modern game and what front offices are trying to do, and really the way the game is played now. These two guys really do understand it. And they're a lot of fun to talk to. Swing and a miss.
I've been impressed with AJ. I've now been in 3 manager meetings with AJ this year, and oftentimes I don't even have to ask a question, because he already goes right into breaking his team down at a crazy high level. He's very informative, and it's really nice. It's really a treat to hear him talk.
2-2. That one to first. Torkelson handles. Montero gets over. And fans, a reminder, ESPN is the home of MLB.TV. Stream every out-of-market game live or on demand using the ESPN app. Blackout and other restrictions apply. For more information, go to ESPN.com/MLBTV.
Did you like covering first base on ground balls at first?
I did, actually. Yeah, it was one of the only plays that was easy for me. So just run over there, catch a 14-mile-an-hour flip, and touch the base. I can handle that. So I didn't mind it, and I knew it was an out off the bat.
I found that playing first base, even though I could have taken it on my own, it was always like psychological advantage to toss it to the pitcher and give them a reason to thank you. They just felt like they weren't as tired as if they had not gotten the feed.
I got to tell you, I've done a lot of games, and Eduardo, I give you credit. That is a question I've never heard anyone ask before. Did you like covering first base? I've never heard it. I love it.
Well, you practice it so much in spring training. I mean, maybe I don't like that aspect of it, the 50 reps, but in the game it's an out, so I'll be sprinting over there. I'll never run as fast as I run to first base in a game to get an out.
I played with CC Sabathia in Cleveland, and he's like, any ground ball to you, you get there because I'm not getting there. So it was a challenge.
What gives you more war as a first baseman? Taking it yourself or flipping it? I wonder the answer to that, because that would color my decision making probably.
So in my years covering baseball, I've covered first basemen where other people on the team believed that they liked to flip to augment their defensive statistics.
It's amazing.
Wow. See, you got to game the system a little bit, you know. Two can play that game.
Alex Cora, the former manager of the Red Sox and of course longtime big leaguer, told me that when he played next to Mike Lowell on the infield, every pop-up Mike Lowell would call him off, and then after he would catch the pop-up, Mike would look at Alex and say, fielding percentage, fielding percentage. Two outs, bases empty. Happ at the plate. And a roller towards first, hits the bag, and then rolls into foul territory. Happ to second, and he's got himself a double. Well, I don't know how you prep for that if you're Spencer Torkelson. It's just, it hits the trampoline and boing, and it's a two-bagger.
You know, but you're talking to the bar right then and there saying, okay, please do not hit the bag. And when it does, everything's in play. You don't know if it's going to stop in front of the bag, if it's going to go down, or if it's going to pop up like this. Nothing you can do but live right if you're Ian Happ.
So with two outs, it's Ian Happ taking, or I should say it's Ian Happ at second, and it's Horner taking a strike.
But the selfish me here wanted Torkelson to catch the ball and see if he was going to toss it to Cater or not. Because we were on that subject.
Speaking of Cater Montero, he has been excellent here tonight. That double ending a 10-batter run, and he had retired 10 straight. 1-2 now on Horner, grounded to third his first time up. Tigers lead at 4-1 on a 3-run homer from Hao-Yu Lee. Swing and a miss, struck him out. Montero pitches around the 2-out double in the bad break, and Happ left stranded. End of 4. It's 4-1.
My moderate to
2 months for Max Fried, out with the elbow injury. Rossi, he shut down the Pirates.
57 pitches in 5 innings, no runs, 7 Ks, 1 hit, 1 walk. The Yankees got to be ecstatic having this guy back.
Dominguez and Volpe have RBI hits. Boog, it's 2-0 Yanks headed to the 9th.
I'm sure for Aaron Boone, that's a welcome sight. It's Fried back and pitching well. Beautiful night here at Wrigley. The Tigers with a 4-1 advantage. The 1-0 to Kevin McGonigal, and that drops in there for a strike. McGonigal, then Dingler, and then Keith here in the Tigers' 5th. He gets fouled off the foot, I believe, of Kevin McGonigal.
Got a .311 batting average. I know you're not big on batting average, but with 2 strikes, really impressive. That's what he has. Bears down.
The 1-2 is cut on and missed, struck him out. And with 1 away and the base is empty, we'll let you know Play Ball is baseball's global youth initiative to highlight the fun and accessible ways to play our great game. To learn more, including how to find a league near you, scan the QR code or go to playball.org and follow at Playball on X, Facebook, and Instagram. Dylan Dingler now. That one line foul. Pre-game, Craig Counsell talking to us about this guy, Dylan Dingler, and how difficult he can be to stop. Well, A.J. Hinch thinks Dylan Dingler is the best catcher in baseball.
Well, it's hard to argue that he's not on the short list at a minimum. I mean, defensively, he's outstanding in all 3 areas: framing, blocking, and throwing. I'm sure game planning as well. And then offensively, you know, it's a huge breakout. Tons of power. And he handles both fastballs inside and breaking balls in the zone, which is a little bit of a rare combination. So very unique player here, very valuable.
Thought that phrase A.J. Hinch used, that servant's mentality. The guys in the studio talking about it, David Ross as well, then understanding that the catcher, you're putting the pitcher and the staff first. And A.J. Hinch said, look, I am catcher biased.
I remember asking Yadier Molina one time, what would you rather have, a 4-for-4 game with a game-winning hit or a shutout, a 9-inning shutout? And he's like, give me the 9-inning shutout every day. That's a servant's mentality.
2-2. That is outside.
Boog, Dingler on a pace to finish this year with 35 homers and 104 RBI. Not bad for that position.
Dingler back in, 3-2, and hits softly on the ground, charging Swanson, who picks it up, unloads, and gets the catcher, and there's 2 away. You know what I would rather have more than anything? The 3-run homer. This year in Major League Baseball, when you hit a 3-run homer, you have an .802 winning percentage.
Wow.
So we talk about so many things, and you wonder why guys talk about hitting homers. They change the game. A 3-run homer changes the game. I mean, you win basically 80% of the time, and that is when you get a 3-run homer. So that includes when the other team gets one, etc.
Okay, Tim Kirchin, I'll continue this conversation and say that's Earl Weaver baseball. That's why he used to say, I love the 3-run homer.
That's right.
Thank you, Nick.
Now Lee with the big swing. His 3-run homer has given the Tigers a 4-1 advantage. And a foul into the mitt of Carson Kelly. Kelly is the guy that's done the damage here for the Tigers. Lee. And Horner knocks that one down, throw to first, and they're able to get Colt Keith. Welcome back, Cater Montero. Look at the job he did here tonight.
Yeah, and I want you to notice the last 4 strikeouts in this sequence right here. They all look like strikes out of the hand, and then they disappear out of the strike zone. But he's been rolling. He's been as advertised. He's retired 11 of his last 12.
So Montero with 6 strikeouts tonight, tied for the most through 4 innings in his career. And again, he hadn't started since June 26th, so 4 really good innings. The only blemish, is say, a Suzuki homer. The 0-1. Fouled into the mitt of the catcher Dingler, and it's 0-2. Conforto, then Kelly, and then Swanson. Tigers lead it 4-1. A.J. Hinch talks about just trying to take 2 out of every 3. And they've been playing much better really since the beginning of June, and yet still under 500. But in what has been a lackluster American League, there are playoff possibilities for them.
There really are. And they're hoping to do what the Guardians did to them last year.
Swing and a miss, and another strikeout from Montero. Let's send it back to the studio. Dodgers, Phillies, KC.
All right, Boog, 6-3 LA lead, top 8. Tim, all those stars. This is Tommy Edman.
Right. Since June 17th, when he came off the injured list, Tommy Edman has hit .360 and has an OPS of .974. He's so valuable. He can play everywhere and he can hit.
Bases clearing triple. It's 9-4 LA, Boog.
Carson Kelly here. Yeah, Tommy Edman, when he's healthy, a versatile piece. And a guy just coming back from that ankle issue. Popped up right side. Torkelson on the dirt. Stagger stepping and makes the catch.
MLB and T-Mobile offer you a chance to win trips to all 30 stadiums. The views, the food, the vibe. Begin your journey to 30. Enter now.
.41 Tigers.
Tell you that after that pop-up right there, a lot of communication within the infielders and outfielders about being able to see the ball off the bat.
Swanson hits it in the air out towards right center. And the catch is made by McKinstry. 1, 2, 3 go the Cubs, end of 5, and it's 4-1.
You catch it on the app.
All the attention for the Detroit Tigers focusing on Tarek Skubal. His last time out, 7 innings, no earned runs allowed, 5 hits, and he punched out 9. And as the trade deadline approaches, Tarek Skubal is due to be a free agent. Buster Olney, the question becomes, what will Scott Harris do? A.J. Hinch knows. He just tells his guys, look, you can control it. If you just keep on winning, you'll make the decision pretty easy. But what do you think the Tigers will do? What do you think they should do?
So the scouting report on Scott Harris from other executives is that he will be objective. He will follow the numbers. He's not going to be the, just a charge of light brigade type executive where he's going to look at the numbers and they don't have a very good chance. He's going to try anyway. And let's face it, they're playing great since the beginning of June. 25-16, and because the Red Sox are playing so well, they're 5.5 games out of the wild card, 7 out in the division. So they truly seem to be on the fence about what to do at this point. I know other executives I've spoken with other teams, they say, if the Tigers continue to play this well, they won't trade him. But there's also a scenario. Of course, they don't play well. They would trade him certainly between now and the deadline. And the third one was, hey, you could actually trade Tarek Skubal and at the same time try to improve other parts of your team. Jackson Jobe coming back, Javier Baez coming back.
Ryan Rollison is checked into the game for the Cubs. He is the new pitcher, and he got Riley Green on the strikeout, delivering ball 1 to Torkelson. What do you make of it, Adam Ottavino, in terms of what the Tigers will and should do?
It's so difficult. It's such a difficult job to balance the here and now with also the future. Last thing you want is for Tarek Skubal to walk out that door to get just a draft pick in return. That being said, you look at the American League and the path to the World Series, and if they continue playing the way they played the last month, they have to feel pretty good about that. So I think you play both sides of it. I think you see what the offers really are. You take it all the way down to the wire. You hold your breath and try to make the best choice you can.
Bounced foul, and that one gets into the Cubs dugout.
The core of their players are going to be here for a while. It's Tarek Skubal that's going to be a free agent. It's Jack Flaherty, Justin Verlander, who's on the IL, Gleyber Torres. Everyone else is going to be here for a while. The thing is, how competitive do you want to be year after year? But
that one in there, and Torkelson is gone, and Rollison has gotten the first two.
But if you're in this roster right now, psychologically, if Tarek Skubal is still here after the trade deadline on August 3rd, you've won. You have that psychological, that mentality of you've won. You saw the Guardians do it last year, get back and beat you in the division after being behind by so much, so there's possibilities. But the psychological factor in that clubhouse, you can trade him and still say we're going to be competitive, but I don't think the players are going to buy into that.
Who's the favorite in the American League right now to you?
Yankees. I wanted to say the Mariners, but they haven't gotten it together to that level yet. So I guess the Yankees, I guess.
I would say Yankees because of the guy that was on the mound today for them.
Get Max Fried back.
Get Max Fried back.
Yep.
Sooner or later, you're going to get Aaron Judge back. And when you do, how are they not?
I'll give you a little wild card in the Yankees after this pitch.
Here comes a 1-2. Swing and a miss, struck him out. You're going to have to stick around. Hold that thought, Buster. Rollison comes in, strikes out the side. Will go bottom six. Tigers.
ABC, Disney Plus, and the ESPN app.
That was Monday night where PCA shows what he does best. 18 outs above average in center field. A great jump in making the impossible possible out there in center field for PCA. Just been unbelievable defensively and great offensively as well.
Yeah, the most five-star catches in the StatCast era, and doing it in many fewer innings than the guy he passed, Kevin Kiermaier.
I think it's really cool that this weekend also it's Hall of Fame weekend. Jeff Kent obviously coming in, getting to the Hall of Fame, but also two stellar center fielders to start their careers in Andrew Jones and Carlos Beltran.
Congratulations to our colleague Joe Buck. He's getting inducted into the broadcasters wing of the Hall of Fame. Popped up foul.
It's pretty cool this weekend. The celebration in Atlanta, New York, Kansas City, Houston, you can name it. Andrew Jones and Carlos Beltran, two elite center fielders. Why not segue it to an elite center fielder that's at the plate right now in PCA?
Now, Craig Counsell continues to call him the best defensive player in baseball, and look at these two guys. I mean, just outstanding. Jones and Beltran.
I can't wait, Boog. I'm going to be there this weekend. It's going to be awesome. One of my favorite weekends of the year.
Yeah, it's wonderful. PCA certainly generated a lot of energy and excitement in this ballpark. 2-2 is outside. Last year, kids from a high school, an entire class came out, and a group of them sat in the first row, and they painted their chest Pete Crow Armstrong, and the real battle was for the hyphen. Who got to be the hyphen? 3-2 down. Montero has been brilliant here tonight. Little tapper back to the mound. Montero isn't able to pick it up. It'll be, we'll see, either E1 or an infield single, but he lost his glove and then panicked. It'll be E1.
Well, it might be an error, but there's an element of this that's forced by PCA. You know, he's flying out of the box. You have one shot to pick it clean, or he's too fast. You're not going to get him. Montero tries to go down to the knee. The ball stays down on him.
All those PFPs, pitchers fielding practices in spring training, and sometimes when you get home after a road trip. But it's different, right, in the game.
Yeah, you know, it really is. A lot of times, it's not where your mind is fielding a ball. You're trying to focus on making your pitches, and then the ball comes back to you, and you have to go into a different mode. So sometimes you get fooled by the speed of it at times. Like, that ball was hit really slow, but your reaction is to, like, get ready for something hard, and then it kind of checks up on you.
Now, the Cubs haven't exactly been banging Montero around. Last two hits, one hit the bag, and then that one hit 53 miles an hour back to the pitcher.
Product placement.
Well done, Eduardo.
I will say this, though. The Cubs are really good third time around the order when they face a starting pitcher. And Seiya Suzuki is one of the best at that.
That's that one back, 1-2. In the first inning, he unloaded with his 17th of the year. Suzuki will be a free agent at the end of the year. The 1-2. That's too high. Drew Summers up in the pen, so the lefty appears to be ready.
Yeah, AJ mentioned he was going to look for about 75 to 80 pitches out of Montero, so we're coming up right on that.
You got Summers facing Bush no matter what.
I do.
Swing and a foul tip into the mitt of Dingler, and Suzuki is gone on strikes. AJ Hinch out of the dugout. And it looks like Hinch, makes the point to the pen, and the night is over for Kader Montero, who was sensational here tonight. He gave up the lone run, the homer in the first, and he exits stage right after 5 1/3 pitching change here at Wrigley.
Michelin, motion for life.
This is Arby's cheesesteak with 100% Angus steak and melty Cooper cheese. Some say it's meat and cheese done right, and some people don't say anything.
A reminder, next Monday night, Guardians and the Reds at 7 Eastern. Catch a game live on ESPN and streaming on the ESPN app. Drew Summers on here, and Michael Busch swings and misses. Montero responsible for the runner at first, but how about that? 5 1/3. Just the one earned run, didn't walk a soul, and he punched out 8. And a guy who came into the game with a strikeout rate of 17.5%.
Yeah, he really had it working today. A lot of first pitch strikes, especially in the back half of his outing, really got into that rhythm and was able to get these guys to expand a little bit. Cubs were patient early and it backfired.
And a lot of the first pitches weren't just four-seam fastballs. They were knuckle curveballs, sliders, keeping the hitters off balance and guessing.
19th appearance for the lefty with that high strikeout rate, but also high walk rate. 2-1. Bush fouls it away. Tigers on the season 4th in the AL, 7th in baseball in ERA. Their starting pitching has been the better unit, of course, for A.J. Hinch, led by Tarek Skubal. But the pen's been solid, 5th in baseball, or 5th in the AL, 10th in baseball. 2-2. That one hit foul.
AJ's really good at mixing and matching with his bullpen. There's been stretches as Tigers manager where he initiates the pitching chaos strategy, kind of puts guys in the best positions to succeed. That's what we see right here. Somers in there left on left. This is his batter. He's going to have to get out. And then you also have Ian Happ a couple spots away, turn him around right-handed. So this is the lane.
The 2-2. Back to the pitcher. To second for 1, on to first. 2. The lefty Somers comes in and gets the job done. And a double play. And the Tigers are out of it.
9 on ESPN, Disney Plus, and the ESPN app.
Welcome back. And the ultimate goal of an MLB fan, seeing it all. The MLB Journey to 30 sweepstakes presented by T-Mobile. The ultimate bucket list. Enter now for your chance to win trips to all 30 ballparks. MLB.com/Journey to 30 sweeps. New pitcher here at Wrigley will be Gavin Hollowell, lanky right-hander. Delivers a strike to Zach McKinstry. Oh, cup snake.
Is the cup snake an everyday occurrence here?
Oh, yes. Fly ball out towards left center field. Pete Crow Armstrong ranging back. McKinstry retired. There's one away. It's the teamwork makes the dream work, and out in the bleachers it happens very quickly. And it's where Tiger fans and Cub fans will get together and they make it happen.
Tell you what, the cleaning crew really appreciative of it. After the game, don't have to worry about that.
Hollowell ready. The 0-1. That one fouled off. Well, this guy at the plate has the biggest swing of the game with 2 outs and 2 aboard. 3-0, and how you lead. Last one into the bleachers out in left center. Hugs. And for Lee, home run number 5. And that made it 4-1, and that's where we stand.
Well, we know what kind of hitter he was on a 3-0 count. Let's see how he works this at bat that already started 0-2, now 1-2.
Right-hander deals. Hollowell, big guy, and he's got that crossfire action. That could be tough on the righties. Two. Close to a full house here at Wrigley on a Wednesday night. Two. And Lee able to stay alive. Lee signed by the Phillies out of Taiwan in 2021 for $500,000, and then the Tigers got him from Philadelphia for Michael Lorenzen in August of 23. Swing and a miss, and Hollowell able to get him 2 away.
This was a great example of how you use sinker and four-seam in the same at-bat. Hollowell with the low slot, slinging sinkers repeatedly in and in to Lee here. Finally switches up the fastball type, goes to the four-seam, which has much more lift on it, and leaves him way underneath it. So that was a really good combination. That's something you're seeing a lot more around the league. Guys setting them up with one type of fastball and then going to the other one late.
It seems like you are seeing more guys that throw even all three fastballs now, just for a different version. Now, does it work even if one of those three fastball doesn't profile as a very good pitch?
Yes, yes, and that's been a big shift in understanding the last few years. They used to really preach, if your pitch is not elite, don't throw it. But now you see that, you know, it's sort of like you set it in motion. So you start with your elite pitch, say it's the four-seam. Now the batter has to react to that, speed up, flatten out his barrel, and that opens up room for the sinker to work.
In the air, caught by Nico Horner, the four-seamer right there for Hollowell, and he gets a 1-2-3. Time to stretch here at Wrigley.
$1 Blizzard upgrade. Get it delivered in the DQ app.
ESPN Baseball is presented by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Knock savings out of the park with Liberty Mutual. For the Tigers, from one Drew to another, Drew Anderson will take over here. So the right-hander to face Alex Bregman.
I think this is going to be an interesting inning for the Tigers and for the Cubs as well. Cubs, who are the best in baseball when it comes to the walk rate, have none tonight because of the ability of Cater Montero to throw strikes. Here, they don't chase a lot. We're going to find out if Anderson can get them to chase with his nasty stuff. So far this season, 23 walks in 57 and a third innings.
There's Tom Morello, big Cubs fan, and of course, Grammy Award winning, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Rage Against the Machine. Never know who you'll see at Wrigley. The 2-1. This past weekend, as they honored the 2016 team, Bill Murray out here, Eddie Vedder, Chris Chelios, and of course the champs. Swing and a miss, and Anderson able to get Bregman. And Joe Madden back along with Anthony Rizzo, the Champions Gate dedication. And for Cub fans, it was a very fun weekend to remember an amazing championship, and I think one of the more significant championships in the history of the sport.
Yeah, it does really feel like some are worth more than others. You know, given all of the backstory and the history, the curses, etc. You know, that Red Sox championship certainly, and no doubt the Cubs in 2016 is something that generations of fans will remember forever.
Interesting, both championships, the Red Sox and the Cubs, they won it on the road.
The 0-1. And that is in for a strike. Yeah, the White Sox as well ending their drought, and the White Sox doing it in 2005, the year after the Red Sox. The 0-2. Off the plate, high chopper. And that one thrown past the first baseman, Torkelson, as Lee knew he had to hustle.
And I thought Lee was going to try to barehand this one the entire way. It's going to go down. It's going to go as a hit. But I think it was the only play he was going to have if he tried to barehand it. It's called the do or die play. You're coming in hard. You know that half's getting down the line. You go to the glove, and he committed to it because of where he caught the ball, the spin drew him to the left side of the baseball.
Ian Happ with some excellent placement on his batted balls tonight.
That'll be the next level step, right? BABIP control. Ball and no strikes to Nico Hoerner, who's 0 for 2. Now 2-0. Hoerner had a brilliant first 30 or so games to begin the season, and of late been trying to dig himself out of a hole. Continues to play elite level defense. Anderson fires. Fly ball. Outman ranging back to his left, and it makes the catch. And there's 2 down. And Michael Conforto, real step to the plate. I want to say hello to our friend Peter Gammons, who's watching, and Adam Ottavino. He's given you rave reviews.
Well, it's very nice of Peter. I've known him a long time. You know, haven't been around Boston, not only in college, but also as a Red Sox. So we wish him the best. And, you know, any compliment from him, truly an honor for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking Peter Gammons' Sunday Notes column, and just one of those first guys that in the industry, when all the baseball information stuff was coming out, he was the guy.
He was the guy.
And still is. Yeah, Diamond Notes indeed.
Now he's the dude.
Yeah, I was talking with Dan Rice, who Ben Rice's dad, before the home run derby, throwing to him, and he was saying, yeah, you're Sunday, you spread out Peter's column on the paper, you got the sunshine coming in. That was an experience we all had.
Let's go, Peter. I want you back on that elliptical every morning.
2-1 on Conforto. Happ at first. Tigers lead at 4-1. That's in for a strike. That one just clipped the corner. Good curveball from Drew Anderson. Conforto, the former first-round pick out of Oregon State by the New York Mets in 2014. He debuted the next year and played for that team that lost the Royals in the World Series. And he's down on strikes as Anderson freezes him. And the Cubs leave a man. We played 7 at Wrigley, and the Tigers have a 3-run advantage. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, Seiya Suzuki got the scoring started in the first for the Cubs with a solo homer. And then Spencer Torkelson even the game at 1 with a big swing in this game. How you lead with a 3-run homer in the 4th. And here we are. It's 4-1. Caleb Thielbar. And a swing and a miss from Kevin McGonigal. Deal 1.
Nice to see a pitcher out there a little longer in the tooth than most. 39 years old. I, for one, love to see it.
14 years in the league.
One in there for a strike. A Thielbar. But a pretty cool story when you're looking at a guy at 39 who hails from Minnesota, pitched his college ball at South Dakota State. And the other part of his story that is especially cool, he was with the Twins in 2013, 14, and 15, and then did not pitch in the majors again until 2020. Last year, He was a major part of the Cubs bullpen.
Yeah, Thielbar, one of the modern marvels, where he basically went and just got himself into a training regimen, visited Driveline, did a bunch of stuff away from affiliated organizations to kind of rebuild his value, and was able to come on and tack a bunch of years onto the end of his career.
Liner to right, Suzuki there to make the catch. McGonigal hits it on the button, but right at the right fielder. Back to the studio, Kevin Connors, what do you have?
Guys, the longest win streak in Red Sox history is over. Tim, the Orioles got him in the nightcap tonight.
Right. The Red Sox have won 20 out of their last 23 games, and they've gone from the worst record in the league to a team that's in the playoffs at the moment.
Remarkable turnaround, Boog.
Yeah, that is something else, what they've been able to do. So the winning streak finally comes to a close.
What?
Pitch in there for a strike. Man, that is incredible. The Red Sox 3 over 500.
Boog, I think if you're so many of those teams, you can dream if you're in the American League of how far you can go into October, because it's just such mediocrity in the middle.
Yeah, I don't know, by the way, it's funny after the fact we kind of forget, but it's not like everyone was sitting there pointing to the Blue Jays last year going into the playoffs and saying them.
Right.
Or the Rangers in 2023 going on.
Diamondbacks in 2023 on the ground, and Swanson, that one gets into left field. I think Dansby felt like, I'm not going to be able to catch this with my glove, and then he was channeling his wife Mallory, and I thought he was going to try and save it.
I think it was a smart play by him, because one, he wasn't going to have an opportunity to get him at first, and if he does attempt to get it and hits off the glove, it could kick out towards the line, and it could end up being a double, and you lose out on the force at second.
Meeting on the mound, Tommy Hotovy, the Cubs pitching coach. He's been the Cubs pitching coach since the 2019 season, with a pinch hitter, Matt Vierling, coming up. Every time Tommy Hotovy comes to the mound, the organist plays Hot Stuff by Donna Summer. Cubs have Caleb Ferguson, or I should say Tyler Ferguson, up in the pen. I think I got Caleb Ferguson on the brain from the little Bill Miller, Caleb Ferguson back and forth. There is Tyler Ferguson. The 0-1. And that's in for a strike.
And Boog, just to pay off that teaser I had before about the Yankees, the last 2 days I've had general managers tell me that they believe that the Padres will trade closer Mason Miller. Can you imagine Yankees, Mariners, you get that guy?
Yeah, absolutely.
Keep in mind that the Yankees and the Padres have made a big deal before. Of course, Juan Soto going over. A.J. Preller, as one executive said to me, he likes to transact. That's the Padres general manager. With that team starting the day with the playoff chances at 11.8%, maybe they're going to be aggressive.
I've never heard transact used as a verb in there, and that is strike 3.
With Thielbar, you get high fastballs and big slow curveballs. This is the latter, and he paints the outside corner to freeze Vierling.
Otto, I would have struck out as well on this one.
Because
I had never swung at a curveball after Al McRae told me. why are you swinging at curveballs when you cannot barrel it up?
Well, no, he asked you, what do you normally do?
Right.
And you said, I roll over to the
I
third.
said, I roll over to the third baseman. And he said, then why swing at it? Take it. They're designed to be a ball.
And you really went the rest of your career never swinging at a left-handed pitcher's curveball.
Correct.
That's amazing.
Ted Lilly threw me 6 consecutive curveballs in Toronto, and I struck out on 6 pitches. All landed for strikes.
Wow. He knew?
Or he didn't know. But I knew that I wasn't swinging at it.
Wow. Riley Green here. Green has grounded out, doubled and scored, and he has struck out. Riley came home to score on the Lee 3-run homer. This would be a great win for the Tigers as they lead it 4-1. Jay Hinch, year 6 in Detroit. 52 years old. The native of Midwest City, Oklahoma.
1-2.
Pushed foul. It'll get out of play.
He sped him up right there to try to now spin one. Maybe with that curveball, that's the pitch that Thielbar does really well against, or the slider down and away. Try to get Riley. Up and in fastball, followed by this.
Swing and a miss. Green is gone, and the Tigers leave a man. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. Detroit 4, Chicago 1. Welcome back to ESPN Baseball, presented by Liberty Mutual Insurance. And back at Wrigley Field, the Tigers with a 4-1 advantage, bottom of the 8th. And the new pitcher will be Kyle Finnegan.
This should be a good test for Finnegan. The Cubs don't chase. He struggles with his walk rate, 14% walks. He relies heavily on a really, really nice splitter. 190 batting average, big chase, a lot of whiff. So stylistically, it's a little bit opposed here. Cubs are going to look to keep him in the strike zone, and he's going to have to follow suit, or they're going to be taking their bases.
You know, when I first started working with David Ross, I would tease him that I felt like he got a little too excited for the backup catchers, and I feel like you get there's a little extra juice when you're talking about the relievers. I could be projecting.
Well, listen, it's 9:19 local time. This is about the time that I'd be in the ball game, so naturally the juices are flowing a little bit, and I might be Kyle Finnegan in this moment, so I get it.
So that explains the stretching.
Well played. In the air, right field, Vierling. Oh, and he makes the catch. Kelly lines out to the right fielder, and Matt Vierling showing the range in right, and a nice play. And when you look at this nice run of baseball the Tigers have played, one of the things that has gone along with it, improved defense.
Yes, absolutely. It's been improved defense after a miserable month of May where they only won 6 games. They've been improved on this facet. Today, early in the game, Matt Vierling's taking ground balls at third base. He's also then taking fly balls as well.
Dansby Swanson now.
Well, considering that the Tigers are going to be in the marketplace for center field and right field, I kind of like Matt Vierling taking some ground balls. He's trying to show the guys, hey, you know, you make a move, I'm still valuable here. I can play multiple positions.
Vierling, who played his college ball nearby. Notre Dame and South Bend. That's to center. Outman back some more, and he makes the catch, wandering onto the track. Dansby Swanson puts a charge into it, but Outman hauls it in. Fans take home a piece of the game. Bid on game used jerseys, baseballs, bases, and more at auctions.mlb.com. And now Pete Crow Armstrong, who is 0 for 3, reached on an error his last time. Swings and pops it foul. All right, very quickly with PCA at the plate. He's moved into that leadoff spot. Talk about the defense. How legitimate a shot does he have to win the MVP in the National League?
Very. And it's because just as Shohei Ohtani has been a two-way player, PCA is that same thing when it comes to the defense. He's hit, he's run the bases really well, and most importantly, he's a game changer out there in center field.
Well, right now he leads in F WAR and B WAR, and you compare these two guys, it's pretty incredible. I mean, for Ohtani, the other thing he does is pitch, but the Dodgers now saying it's going to get shut down for a bit. Health factors in.
And another thing that's going to get shut down for Shohei Ohtani is his ability to steal bases because of the knee as well. So he's become more of a station-to-station player as well on the bases.
Kurt Counsell calls Pete Crow Armstrong the best defender on the planet. He's the best defender at any position in the game. That one down their way. We asked AJ Hinch, he agreed.
Yeah, but I will say this. It now has to be sustainable for an entire season.
Right.
Last year he had a fantastic first half of the season, and then everything came down tumbling. Now he has to be able to finish strong in August and September.
That one inside, and it hit him. And Pete Crow Armstrong is aboard. So with 2 outs, Finnegan hits Pete Crow Armstrong on the toe. In for a strike to Seiya Suzuki. Suzuki is homered, grounded out, and he is struck out. Tigers lead at 4-1. We're in the bottom of the 8th with 2 outs and a man at first. For Suzuki, when he came over here in 2022, was probably a little more patience, and slowly his game has changed. He's very strong, and last year and this year the pull in the air rate has really jumped up, and so the home runs have come. And an awkward swing and a miss. 1 and 2.
There's so many things to adjust to when you come from Japan over to MLB. You know, it's not only the cultural aspect, the family aspect. There's a million different things getting assimilated, but it's also the style of play. You know, in Japan, putting the ball in play, using the whole field, that's the style that they hit with. So he had to make that adjustment coming over here to unlock his true potential.
Swing and a miss. Suzuki is gone. Finnegan gets him and pitches around the hit by pitch. We will head to the 9th. The Tigers lead at 4-1.
Please with the helpful hardware, folks.
Back here at Wrigley, Tigers 4 runs, 7 hits, and an error. The Cubs 1-4-0. John Giambi, Adam Ottavino, Eduardo Perez, and Buster Olney. New pitcher will be Tyler Ferguson. So Ferguson taking over. First pitch swinging, and Torkelson grounds a base hit into left field. Now, one of the problems for the Cubs this season has been injuries pitching wise. Of course, Justin Steele, who was injured last year, Tommy John surgery, had a couple of setbacks. They're hoping he'll be back sometime before the end of the year, but not as a starter. The Cade Horton loss was huge. Cabrera went down. Ben Brown going down has been really big for them. They expect to have him back at some point. And then Matthew Boyd was on the IL 2 different times. Gary Carpenter at the plate. Buster Olney, what's your take on the Cubs? Because it's pretty clear that Jed Hoyer and Carter Hawkins, if they're going to do something, it's going to be in the pitching department.
Yeah, we know more than any other contender what their priority is going to be, whether it's a starter, whether it's a reliever. You mentioned that IL number.
Liner to left. Happ is there, makes the catch.
Look, they've had 30 players go on the IL this year. 26 of them are pitchers. I mean, it's absolutely nuts how it's played out. So you would assume they're going to get an opportunity in a market that looks to be flush with starting pitchers. Maybe a Clay Holmes, maybe a Robbie Ray, you know, Kevin Gossman, Freddie Peralta. There are going to be plenty of options, I think, by the time we get to the last 72 hours before the deadline for the Cubs to pick and choose among the starting pitchers and a reliever.
Yeah, and then the other thing, and Adam, we touched on this pregame just talking about it for the Cubs. There just isn't that much velocity when you look at their staff top to bottom.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I mean, beggars might not be able to be choosers.
Line drive out into left center field. Pete Crow Armstrong. It kicks off his glove, and now racing towards the plate is Torkelson, and he will score. So Pete Crow Armstrong not able to gather that one in cleanly. And ultimately the Tigers pick up an insurance run, and it is 5-1 Detroit.
Plenty piece of hitting on this one, and then PCA trying to get it skipped down low. Should just be a straight up double with a run batted in. Hits off the tip of his glove. Detroit adding a jug run.
So double and an RBI. And Torkelson able to come around. And now it's How You Lee. Line drive out towards left center. And a sliding catch by Pete Crow Armstrong. And Lee retired.
Makes it look easy.
There's an example of it right there. One thing I love watching with PCA, especially when you're watching on television, is by the time the camera angle turns around, he's already in full stride or already there. I just tested the theory in person, and by the time I looked up off the monitor, he was already in full stride and had the ball in his crosshairs.
Yeah, from our vantage point, it's a lot of fun getting a chance to watch an elite level center fielder.
He doesn't take a pitch off. He is doing what infielders do. He's got that little skip coming in, the tennis, you could call it skip as soon as serve is coming in. But he is ready on that first move, elite first step, and then the speed takes over.
You know, I heard PCA talk about a key mindset shift that he had over the first few years here with the Cubs. Kind of the change between I have to do something to I get to do something. So it's like sometimes you're in the outfield, you're like, oh, I'll make the play if it comes to me. But he's thinking to himself, I want the ball hit to me. I want to show off what I can do. And I think that's part of his quick reactions.
Yeah, it's wording you hear Craig Counsell talk about. One of the first coaches that I ever heard, you know, publicly really emphasize that, Joe Mazzulla of the Celtics. Swing and a miss there from Outman. Tigers with a 5-1 advantage. McKinstry, the former Cub out there at second. It was the Cubs that McKinstry was traded to the Tigers from. And he helps add on for Detroit. Yeah, originally a 33rd round pick by the Dodgers out of Central Michigan at Chippewa in 2016, and then in March of 2023 the Cubs sent him to Detroit. Ferguson able to get Outman, but the Tigers add a run. We'll go to the bottom of the ninth. Last chance for the Cubs. Detroit.
Entertainment you can handle. Watch SummerSlam live when you bundle Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Unlimited.
Kevin and Tim, Yordan Alvarez has just gone deep. Number 34 leads all of baseball.
He's got a real chance to win the Triple Crown this year. Last American leaguer to win it was Miguel Cabrera in 2012.
5-2 game. Boog, Astros on top, top 9.
All right, it has gone to the bottom of the ninth here at Wrigley, Kev, and Michael Busch stands in against Kenley Jansen. What? The pitch in there for a strike. The big right-hander, 30th appearance, a 4.21 ERA. Still strikes people out. Doesn't throw as hard as he once did, but he's put together a pretty amazing career.
Oh my goodness, has he ever. 1,300 strikeouts in relief.
As Busch swings and misses, all for a former catcher.
Yeah, and it didn't take him long, you know. He was converted and he got up to Dodger Stadium pretty fast after that. So what he has is a gift. That cutter that he has, truly a gift, a pitch that's very hard to duplicate.
Pitch upstairs, check swing, did not go.
I was a teammate in minor leagues of a player named Troy Percival, who was a catcher signed with the Angels and then converted into a closer. Had a pretty darn good career as well. Not as great as this one, but really good.
2-2. One grounded foul.
Okay, give me the mindset, Otto. You're coming in for the save, you're warming up in the bullpen, and your team scores one extra run to get you out of the save, and now you have to come in the game.
Yeah, I think he's annoyed about that, to be honest with you, because he's 13 away from 500, and now it technically cannot be a save because it got to 4 runs. So, of course, you love when your teammates score. I mean, you're a team guy. It's about the team at the end of the day. But listen, 3 runs is plenty for Kenley Jansen, and he knows it. So that 4th run came across. A little part of him was disappointed.
Two and 2. And the pitch. And that's inside. And now a full count for the slightly annoyed Kenley Jansen.
Annoyed is a good way to pitch, though.
Otto, you are a gem. 3-2. And looking. And Jansen registers the strikeout. And there's one away.
Hall of Famer Lee Smith would tell me, my dream scenario is waking up in the 6th inning, because he would sleep until the 6th inning, going to the bullpen, and seeing 7, 8, and 9 coming up to the plate with a 3-run lead, and I'm coming in for the save.
That's like the fever dream.
Sometimes a 4-run lead is a little bit dangerous to go out there and pitch in, because you kind of lose your edge a little bit. Ball 1, ball 2. Next thing you know, you're in it.
Swing and a miss. Bregman in an 0-2 hole. This one popped up on the infield. And McGonigal pulls it down. And there's 2 away. And Bregman hearing it a little bit from the crowd at Wrigley. They'll bring up Ian Happ. So the Cubs down to their final out. Tigers lead at 5-1. The big swing in this game. Hao-Yu Lee, a 3-run homer in the 4th. And then McKinstry, the insurance in the 9th with the RBI double.
Sometimes they say managers don't make a difference. A.J. Hinch made a difference right there, giving him the green light on 3-0.
Swing and a miss.
Hang right at the top. Real quick.
And a challenge.
Oh, if it was a ball, just
So Dingler, the pitch called a ball. And some Tiger fans here in the ballpark. So the call is overturned. A smile from Andrew J. Hinch. And the Tigers 1 strike away. Jansen ready and deals. Way high. Cubs here in this game have not accepted a walk. They've had only 2 games prior to this one where they have not taken a walk. 2-2. And now it's 3-2. Happ trying to keep the game going. Jansen trying to end it. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Payoff pitch. And that one is down low on a challenge. Ball was called a ball. And this time
confirmed. Detroit has 1 challenge
the call
remaining.
is confirmed, and the Cubs pick up their first walk of the night. And with 2 outs, they are still alive as Happ reaches base. It'll bring up Nico Horner.
It's a good challenge right there. Might as well. Maybe it could have caught the corner or not, but you're late in the game. You still had 2 challenges.
Cubs tonight 0 for 8 with men on base. Happ takes off for second, and Horner takes a ball. The walk's been part of the story for Jansen this year, the 1-0. And that's lined to short. McKinstry on a hop, throws to first in time, and that's the ball game. And the Tigers win it here 5-1. Cater, Montero, outstanding work, and Lee with the big swing, and the Tigers win 2 of 3.
Yeah, great job. They did exactly what AJ was looking for here. Go 2-1, 2-1, 2-1. They do it in this series. They keep the ball rolling, and they head towards the deadline in a little better shape tomorrow than they were when they woke up today.
Fellas enjoyed it. Tigers win it 5-1 for everyone here and everyone in our control room. I'm John Shelby. Have a great night. Time to hand it off to SportsCenter.